We are going to learn from one of the greatest players, well, the greatest player today, and we're going to learn from him how to become a better golfer, to take his truths and his principles and apply them to ourselves and become better and maybe even absolutely amazing in our golf game. It's Scottie Scheffler. What did Nicklaus say about Scheffler after he won the Memorial in 2025? He said, well, he reminds me of myself. That is, Scheffler knew he could win. He really wasn't that concerned about the other golfers. Wow, Nicklaus really never was that concerned. He knew that if he played his game, he was going to win, unless somebody really went outrageously low. Scottie's swing resembles Nicklaus's in some strange part. One is this right flying elbow, where you remember Nicklaus took it up so high, he's swinging up instead of around. That's what Scottie Scheffler does. And as a consequence, this right used to criticize Nicklaus for that flying right elbow, as they say.
Well, you know, they talk about what a flying right elbow is. A flying right elbow, to me, is not. It's a balance of the club should always remain between your arms, pointing. And you see his club, if you point back, it's pointed between the V of his arms. Mine's pointed between the V of my arms. You see these guys that hold their arm in. To me, you're off balance when you're like this, and you actually get off balance going the other way. So I always thought that was the proper balance position. Never looked at it as a flying elbow. I think they called it a flying elbow because I got my hands so high, and Scottie gets his hands high. His swing is as good as it gets.
Right.
He swings on a great plane, and he's got such a good mind too. He takes his time. He thinks about it. He doesn't get rattled. I really love the way he plays.
Scottie doesn't have that elbow as high as Nicklaus, but he does have it. It enables him to get this wide takeaway. It's great for width to your swing, but it's not pretty. It just flat out works. He is the best ball striker on tour, gets the best results from his swing. With the driver, he's long enough, and when he misses the fairway, he misses it by this much. He doesn't go into the woods or into the pond or anything. And his iron shots, well, they're the best on tour. His approach shots are marvelous. What is there about Scottie Scheffler's kind of peculiar swing that works so well? Let's dive into Scottie Scheffler's swing. First, confession time. As you know, I've been around a long time, so I've played golf with Ben Hogan and Sam Snead and Arnold Palmer and covered the tour for more than a quarter of a century. And I tend to focus on the people that I know. Here you've got me with Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, I don't know who this guy is in the center, and of course Lee Trevino. These are the guys that really influenced me, my thinking, my understanding of golf, and my love of golf history. So let's delve into this look at the guy who Jack says is the most like him. Scottie Scheffler's swing is so unique to him, but it has the parts of a lot of great golfers. When you put them all together, it's a really difficult swing to imitate. It's going to be difficult for you, it's difficult for me. What is unique to him, as you know, is the foot slide. As he's hitting the ball, as he starts down, his right foot begins to slide like this. I mean, it goes a solid foot as he goes through impact. He's up here like this, starts down, and then this foot just slides and slides. But Greg Norman did the same thing. He had that foot slide, and he was a pretty good golfer, wasn't he? It's all about getting into the position that Scottie Scheffler wants to get into. Other thing that is kind of unattractive or not classic, Scottie Scheffler does not have a swing like Adam Scott, let's say, which is so good. Well, Scottie's is good. It works. It's Scottie's swing, but it doesn't look classic or pretty. He has a bent left arm. I do too, a lot do. Tom Watson did. Bent left arm at the top instead of that wonderful straight arm that Hogan and so many others, Rory does. So he had that bent left arm at the top, but what it did, it enabled him to get from here at the top all the way back to here, which is what Scheffler wants, that big, wide swing. Also, his swing is up and down, up and down. It's not rotating like this. Up and down, who does that remind you of? Bubba Watson. So we talk about Greg Norman, a major champion, Tom Watson, a multiple major champion, Bubba Watson, winner of the Masters and so many other tournaments. So he does have some peculiarity to his swing, but man, do they work for him. Scheffler has all these unique parts to his swing. Why? Why does he focus on that upright swing? Well, one, he's 6'3", but what he wants to do with all these parts that we've talked about, that huge lateral hip shift that goes from here all the way to here, it moves. Everything is so that he comes into the ball square or even slightly open, and he can keep that on line so his ball will move, will go straight and then slightly left to right. Straight and slightly left to right. He is never going to get into trouble. He's like a combination of the best of Jack Nicklaus and the best of Lee Trevino. Man, as Trevino said, you can talk to a fade. A hook won't listen. A hook just goes wherever it wants to go, gets you in all kinds of trouble. Scottie Scheffler hardly ever is in trouble because he's in total control of his unique golf swing. Oh, I hope you're enjoying this look at Scottie Scheffler and what he can do for you and your game and his unique golf swing. And I also want to remind you, please subscribe. If you like these episodes and you enjoy absolutely amazing golf, subscribe. Now, a little moment with me and Jack that was special. We had a good relationship. His daughter and my daughter both went to the University of Georgia at the same time, lived in the same dorm, Oglethorpe. And Nan, his daughter, was on the volleyball team. My daughter, Beth, was on the golf team. This is a winning piece of crystal that I took at the Memorial Tournament. Actually, it wasn't the Memorial Tournament. It was the week of the Memorial Tournament. And they had a media day, a media tournament, actually. And I eked out a victory by, I think, 21 shots. I shot 73. Frank Cherkinian shot 94 to finish second. Everybody else couldn't break 100 because we're talking writers and broadcasters, and they're not all that good. So, but Jack had a formal ceremony and he presented me to this. So it sits on my desk reminding me that for just a moment I was a champion there at Jack Nicklaus' famous Memorial Tournament and at Muirfield Village. But now let's go back and learn more from Scottie Scheffler. What can you learn from Scottie Scheffler's unique swing that can really help your game and make you a better golfer? So you can kind of steal it from Scottie and say, this is going to work for me. What about Scottie's swing is going to help you? Well, not much. Not really. Here's what's unique about Scottie Scheffler, which puts him in Jack Nicklaus's ballpark, in that if Scottie plays his average game, he might win. If he plays a little bit better, he's probably going to win. If Scottie Scheffler is at the top of his game, it's over. Nobody else has a chance. That's how good Scottie Scheffler is. And that's how good his swing is. He's never going to get into trouble, and he's always going to have a chance. So why do we say that you can't swing like Scottie Scheffler? Well, are you 6'3" and 225, 235 pounds like Scottie. I mean, he's got that wide swing. That ball is going to go a great distance, and it's still totally under control. How far do you hit the ball? If you hit it 260, 270, 280, you can play a fade. If you don't, you better play a draw. I remember Dave Hill won Memphis Danny Thomas St. Jude Classic 5 times, won the Barden Trophy. We were playing together in the Colorado Open, and that time I was thinking I'm getting pretty good, and I expected Dave Hill to give me a compliment. I said, well, Dave, what do you think of my game? And he goes, Bob, you'll never be any good till you learn to fade the ball. So I spent the rest of the year trying to learn that move to hit that fade, because Dave Hill said, well, look at the great ones. Andy Bean, Jack Nicklaus, they always fade the ball. Yeah, you got a point there. I go down to Phoenix Open. Dave Hill's out there hitting this beautiful draw, high and right to left. And I said, Dave, I thought you were committed to a fade. He says, that's stupid. He says, look at my size. I'm not big like Andy Bean or Nicklaus. He said, I've got to move it right to left. Anybody who tries to fade the ball, unless they're a big hitter, is stupid. Well, Dave Hill's got to learn to speak his mind. But for Scottie Scheffler, it works. But we can learn from Scheffler. What can we learn? What can you emulate? Let's enumerate. How smart are you? That's what you can learn from Scottie Scheffler. He's smarter than everybody else on tour. I don't know what his IQ is, but his golf IQ is off the charts. What does he do? Mentally, he prepares. He prepares for the game that he's going to play that day. He never gets out of the present moment. Each shot he treats separately. He focuses on that shot, not what happened before, not what happened afterwards. He thinks about the green. He hits all the green. I mean, he just hits the green. You hit the green all the time, you're going to play pretty well. What he will do, he calls it the green light, red light. If the pin is on the right side of the green up front, Scottie will hit the green light shot. In other words, he'll hit it to the left side of the pin, and he'll have maybe a 20-foot birdie putt. Whereas the guys who go for the pin, it may hit short, bounce right. They've got a tough up and down. Never does that. He makes the game seem easy. He keeps the ball in play. How often have you tried a hero shot? We like hero shots, don't we? They look great. But if you just work on keeping the ball in play, you're going to do really, really well. And finally, never overswing. Scottie Scheffler can hit the ball off the tee 20, 25, 30 yards further than he does currently. But he'd rather have it in play. He's got enough distance, it's going to be in play. You overswing, that's where trouble comes from. So prepare, outthink your opponents, keep the ball in play, and you are going to be, like Scottie Scheffler, absolutely amazing.